Hello everybody, my name is John Eisenberg and I'm the Executive Director at the National Association of State Directors of Special Education. I've been in this role about 7 years. Previously, I was the State Director of Special Education in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I was a teacher and a TA provider before that. NASDSE is a national organization for state leaders of special education. There's one person in every state and territory and island in the United States who's responsible for implementing IDEA and providing oversight. And those are the people that I help support. Great question. There's a couple. I would say 3 or 4 that I'll touch on very quickly. First and foremost, funding. We've seen an exponential rise in the number of kids with disabilities being identified at the national level, but we have not seen commensurate funding changes in quite a long time. Congress originally in 1975 said they would pay up to 40% of the cost of special ed. On any given year since, it's only been 15–16%. So we really significantly need increases in funding to help staff, help provide the services and the family supports necessary to be successful. So increase in IDEA funding is number 1. Number 2 is the severe shortages that we are facing across the board in special education. The number 1 shortage is special ed teachers. But then closely after that, we've got related service providers, so your OT, PT, speech, school psychologists. We're seeing people not enter the profession, and they're not even staying in the profession very long. So the biggest stumbling block that I think besides funding is going to be getting people prepared, trained, and then keep them in the job as long as humanly possible. So we got to really think out of the box this time for that area. And then third is we've got to kind of tamp down the politics right now. Public education's kind of become a whipping post for politicians and the public in some cases. A lot of it resulted of the aftermath of the pandemic, but I think it's time that we got to work very closely with our parents and our communities to regain trust in public education. And I think the best way to do that would be to show positive outcomes for kids with disabilities. And when I say that, I mean, if you're going to get special ed services and supports, you better make sure that those kids are going to develop the skills necessary to live a life like ours, which means they have a job, they have their own housing, they have friends, they have faith, they have a community to belong to, much like ours. And without addressing all 3 of those things systemically, there's no chance we're going to be able to fulfill the dream of IDEA. I think a great in-between step was today. You guys convened national partners from all over the country and from professionals all over Connecticut. I think engaging as a team in trying to holistically and systemically look at some of these issues across all these different entities is a great first start. Second would be to give us very easy tools and tips that we can give to our professional associations and our members so that they have some ready-made solutions in their hands as soon as humanly possible. And then I think any professional development that you guys can continue to do to address equity, it's a major issue. It's been a systemic issue for 30, 40, 50 years now, and it's got to end. We've got to really make progress on this topic. So engaging partnerships, continuing to look at effective practices, and really engaging a new generation of people into wanting to do this job and wanting to help kids with disabilities be successful. So those are my 3 recommendations.